Hey Gary, you already know what I'm gonna say, but I figured I may as well go on the record, so to speak, because we have conversations in Stickam that maybe 10 or 15 people listen to, but here there's a wider audience and we'll get more participation. And um, so here's my issue. In the same breath, you're saying everything is determined. We are always pre-programmed. Um, and yet at the end of your video you say we have control, we can do better, um, we have the power. So which is it? You're contradicting yourself. And certainly I'm right with you in trying to compel people to be more intelligent. Nobody is questioning that. It's just you can't say that we're programmed, that we're trained to behave in a predetermined way, and then right after that say we have to think harder. We have to take control of our animal nature. I mean, which is it? And I think what you and even Nick, the modern mystic, are talking about when you say that other people have more control over us than we do ourselves. Um, you're basically talking about Richard Dawkins' idea about memes, which are units of culture, you could say. Um, so the idea is that culture is not mine or yours. Culture is made up of these autonomous units, or ideas that replicate themselves based on some inherent measure of their own fitness. Good ideas are replicated more by people than bad ideas, which aren't replicated and go extinct. Um, and ideas, in this sense, sort of become like viruses. They can't exist without a host, a human brain. Um, and in a sense, what we call good ideas aren't necessarily good in the moral sense. Like you, for instance, Gary, would say that religious memes are terrible memes and we should eradicate them. Yet they are good because they always, for most of the history of the human race, have replicated themselves. People accept those types of memes, religious memes, because they make us feel good. They give us a sense of purpose, whatever the case may be. Um, Another example would be uh, suicide. When a famous musician commits suicide, some of their fans will copycat. Um, that's a good meme that has bad moral consequences. Um, so, what you and Nick are talking about when you say that another person has more control over us than we do, it's not that that person has control. It's that culture is not theirs or mine. It's nobody's. Um, but one more thing that you said that I wanted to touch on was that evolution, natural selection, necessarily leads us to truth. That it would, of necessity, evolve us um, towards a greater and greater perception of objective reality. And I would say that no, natural selection has no need to provide any organism with truth. To survive, you don't need the truth. In fact, deception can have just as much survival value as truth. Um, Evolution doesn't care either way. There's nothing inherent to the process of evolution that says that as organisms evolve, they become more and more capable of recognizing the truth or representing the world. That's not in Darwin's theory anywhere. Um, and you've got a lot of work ahead of you if you want to say that that is the case. Um, Herbert Spencer argued something along those lines. He was a social Darwinist, but I'm not saying that you're a social Darwinist. But his idea that evolution was about progress is something that Darwin certainly didn't agree with, and most biologists today certainly would not agree with. So you've got your work cut out for you there, and I'd like you to justify that claim that evolution and natural selection necessarily take us towards a greater appreciation of the truth. I'd like to see you back that up. I don't think you can. Um, and I'd also like you to clarify how you can say we're predetermined and then say we have control, and in fact we must take control. Um, sort this out for me, because I'm a little confused here. So as always, thanks for video, thanks for listening, and look forward to your response.